Farrakhan generation. The Farrakhan generation.
Why's it? Closing the gap. As long as we moving together, then nothing is holding us back. I cannot factor in none of your feelings. We dealing in actual facts. Just know I know what's exact. Keep it 1,000. If you see the universe dishing his crown, you won't see no cap. Told you we closing the gap. They covered the truth, he opened the lid. I'm going over, they flow like a bridge. You tell a tree by its fruit like a fig. Went from auction block to doing the bid. We were chosen so they lucky and pig. The world is the darkest, as cold as it gets. Truth is the light, and our path will be lit by the love of the leader. No dust in this wig. Cured our illness, I know that they sick. Ooh.
Closing the Gap Broadcast Network, the Farrakhan generation. Assalamu alaikum, beloved family. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. I bear witness there is no God but Allah, who appeared to us in the person of Master Nabi Prophet Muhammad. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. I further bear witness that Muhammad is the servant and messenger of Allah. I want to greet you in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. As we can see, our beloved, beautiful brother Michael Jamal Hassan Muhammad is having a little bit of technical difficulties, but he will be on in just a moment. With us this evening, we have with us for our third interview, brother Arvence Muhammad. Brother Arvence Muhammad has a special connections to the wheel. So this topic is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the wheels. And before we pass it to Brother Arvence, I want to introduce again, or for the first time this evening, it's the first time I've ever been able to do this, praise be to Allah, Brother Michael, to introduce yourself. You're muted though. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for taking that up for me, Sister Maryam. I apologize to your family.
No, not at all.
But in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the All-Wise, true and living God who came to us in the person of Master Father Muhammad, we thank him for coming out of the East unto the West and raising that Georgia black man from amongst the chosen people of God. That one that I am speaking of is the exalted living Christ, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. We thank the Mahdi, the self-guided one, the supreme being, and that Christ, the crusher of the wicked, for extending their mind, mission, will, love, and favor into that third beautiful black man, the Messiah in our midst, the most honorable Minister Louis Eugene Farrakhan. And in their holy and righteous names, again, we greet you from around the country and from even around the world with the greeting words of peace and of paradise of Assalamu alaikum. I am your brother and servant, Brother Michael Jamal Hassan Muhammad. And like our sister Maryam have already said, thank you again for tuning into this exclusive interview with our dear brother Arvence Muhammad on the one and only Closing the Gap Broadcast Network, the Farrakhan generation. And now, you know, I can give it back to you, but we could just go right to Brother Arvence if it makes more sense.
Sir, we just want to implore the viewing audience that if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll ask it on your behalf. Brother Arvence, assalamu alaikum, beloved.
Well, like salam, family. How are you all?
We are doing well indeed. You know what? I do want to start off with one of the questions that I have for you this evening. I know you're going to be giving us some of the latest details of the minister and the wheels, but I want to take it back because I don't believe that we've had you on since this occurred. But September 19th, 2022,
yes,
the wheels were out covering the vanguard as we were leaving the farm. I wanted to ask you, did the minister have any words, or did he see them? Did you see them? Because we saw them and it was amazing.
Yes, I saw them that night at the farm. A few of them came. What I didn't know is that they would follow the vanguard where the vanguard was going. That was
Hmm.
amazing. And I've seen all of those videos online, and I thank everyone for sharing those videos because that's a testimony of the truth that we all been given.
Yes. Praise be to Allah. Um, as we embark into this beautiful interview where we will see some footage that is raw
Yes,
from
sir.
the farm of
Yes,
where
sir.
not just the Nation of Islam's Messiah lives and goes from time to time, but the world's Messiah. So this activity is not just lightweight. This is not lightweight. This is big stuff that we're about to see and witness. But I did have a question I wanted to kind of raise. I brought this up sometime before. When you look up into the sky, and I do it here sometimes as well, or probably every night, and there is so many stars up there. There is lights that are present and existing. There is lights that are no longer existing, but the light is traveling. There's planets that are shining, and some of those planets are shining brighter than the stars. How does one know what they're looking at when looking up to identify something so special, but also something that is considered strange and unusual to the masses? How can someone know the difference between the star that is produced by gas and the star that is human beings moving in a metallic wheel?
Yes, sir. That's a good question. So, what I've noticed when I see the baby planes, what people call UFOs, the type of lights that they show, it's almost
Yes.
like a crystallized light. It's
Mm.
brighter than any light. I've seen them flash bright white lights at the farm at me, so bright it lit up the whole sky. But it was a ball of light, and from the ball of light, this light shines and comes forth and all around it. And even a burst, I've seen them give off bursts of light.
Wow.
Bursts of light. A couple of times there was a almost like a beam of light towards me, but the movement, our sky, the stars, the constellations, it all moves together because of the rotation of the planet.
Yes.
So you can see all of the lights in the sky at night, the stars on a clear
Wow.
night. But if you see one of them moving, that's not a star. You see one of them moving, that's not a star. Sometimes it's way up there, sometimes it's a lot lower. Don't let
Yes.
anyone tell you it's Starlink satellite or it's some other
Come
satellite.
on.
Satellites exist, we all know that, but satellites don't have intelligence. It's just metal. It's technology. It doesn't have intelligence. There's no people, So
That's right.
the more that you see these wheels, these baby planes, what people call UFOs, is the more that they will familiarize you with the type of light that they have. It's a different type of light because they
Yes.
have all 65,000 books of math through their usage. We only have one on this planet, in this type of world we live in. So that's a higher technology. That's a whole higher technology. Everything is different. That is why they have the type of ships that can stop at a dime and go from 0 to 9,000 miles an hour plus in less than a second. I mean, the type of technology that we have available to us here, if we were able to do that, we don't have the type of technology to protect ourselves from those tremendous G-forces. It'll kill us instantly. And the
Instantly.
dead pilot will crash, right? So,
Come on.
I mean, you would know, and you would get a certain feeling because the pilots of these ships, they're alive, they're human beings. And the
That's
most
right.
honorable Elijah Muhammad said that they pick up on your thinking before you even think your own thoughts. They know it already. They have the ability to replace your thoughts with their thoughts. They communicate like that mentally. So if
Wow.
you practice that without talking with words, eventually you will open up that connection between you and them.
Wow. Wow. Allahu Akbar. Thank you, sir.
Just a quick correction for the books of mathematics. It's 59,999 to equal 60,000.
I said
59,999.
I said 65, didn't I?
Yeah, you said 60 something. You said 60 something, but a brother Whitaker just wanted to have it be because we don't make mistakes, and if there's one,
Exactly.
clear it up
Yeah.
right away. So all praises due to Allah. Now there is footage that we're
It
going to be
is.
doing tonight.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I do cannot wait to see that. I think someone asked, can't remember who it is, Brother Eugene Larry. He said, where can we find this latest footage, and is it posted on any other social media platforms?
Oh, beautiful question.
We just created a brand new YouTube channel. It's at the bottom of your screen. The announcement 19. That's a brand new YouTube channel that we created specifically for these videos that I have.
Yes.
And on this channel also are the videos of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaching about this subject. Brother Ilya Rashad messages on there.
Yes.
And there's a lot on there for anyone on the planet. If you want to learn more, it's there.
Yes.
So that's the YouTube channel. We also created an email for everyone. Submit your questions. If you want to tell me about your experiences, that email is announcement17@gmail. That is the announcement17@gmail. And this is a brand new thing we just created because every day my social media inbox is flooded. And that's fine, but I'm not able to respond to everyone individually. So with an email and with the YouTube channel, maybe I can kind of respond to everyone at once. So we just like that. And subscribe to the channel, share it, and you're gonna see a whole lot more.
What inspired that 17 and 19? I mean, I can only guess that the 17 was from the 17th of September 17th.
Yeah, that's exactly what
the 19th of September 19th. Just Allah. Praise Allah. Or not just Allah, but okay.
Praise be to Allah. Well, also, our dear brother has documentation. Now, because it's 10 years worth, I believe you said, right, Brother Arvence?
Mm-hmm.
If you think this is a good time to start maybe reading some of those off, if you like, because the hour goes so fast.
Yes. So there's 10 years, brother. Of course, we don't have time to read all of it.
Yes.
So I'm going to start with the year 2013. So I have 2013 all the way up until 2023, right? So I'm going to read 2013. Not all of it, but just something. Okay, so
yes,
this one says, Farm, Sunday, June 23rd, 2013 at 11:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. One baby plane flying south to north. As I saluted it, the color turned white. As I told them I loved them, they shined a brighter white light in response and continued north, and the light went out. I asked them to make it so I'm present when they take the minister. The white light came back on for a while, then went back out. They are responding to my thoughts and have chosen to communicate with me. All praises I do to Allah. And then that same night at 11:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, one blue baby plane from south to north fly out. I saluted it, said Allahu Akbar, and asked them to please guide me and told them I am ready now. The light turned bright white in response to me 2 times. Then the light went out and the wheel was gone. All praise is due to Allah. Then at 11:59 p.m. same night, this is all in one night. 11:59 p.m. One blue baby plane flies from south to north. So when I say blue or red or yellow, that's the color that the whole entire ship turned. It turned that whole color. So I mean, I forgot all about this stuff. You can't remember everything, so that's why documentation is important. Anytime you get a so-called dream, anytime you get a so-called dream, write it down. If you see a baby plane, take a video, pictures, or not, but you've seen it, even if you're not sure, write it down, because the clarity will come later. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, it's time that brings things on. And that's what I found out what this is. Over 10 years, I'm reading back on it, and I'm seeing how Allah and His angels brought me up to different levels, closer to them, so that I can be able to communicate with them.
Wow.
so that I could be able to call them, so that I could be able to have a clear mind and a clear spirit to keep that line of communication open.
Come on.
Everything with your mindset, your diet. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan told me, he said, if your thinking isn't right, those angels on the wheels will show displeasure and go away from you. And I've experienced that once. One time I was upset about something and I didn't see him for a whole 2 weeks. And that's a long time for me right now, 2 weeks, if I don't see him. If I don't see him for 1 week, that's a long time. But this whole thing, these angels on these ships, they teach you patience if you let them. They're in control. You're not in control. They only obey Allah, says the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and they obey him perfectly. He said that's the only thing that they know. They don't even know how to think other than that, which is beautiful. I wish we were like that. You know, so I mean, just think about that. So that's one thing in 2013. So in the year 2014,
Brother
I'm just going to
Arvence,
read.
if I may?
Yes.
I wanted to ask you because the second time, because you said all those were on the same day, when you saw the second baby plane, I believe the blue one, you said, I'm ready now.
I'm ready. Ooh,
I
heard that.
What did you mean by that?
Good
What I mean
question.
by that, I've been seeing them since I was 5 years old.
That's right.
And since I joined the Nation of Islam in the year 2000, it's been ramped up. And the more I accepted what was going on, and the more I accepted them reaching out to me, I didn't know why at first in the beginning, but the more I accepted it and submitted to the process, the more ready I became to just grow within it. So that's what I mean, I'm ready. Like right now, I'm ready. I'm ready to go forward with whatever they want me to go forward with. I'm ready to go forward with the Honorable Minister Farrakhan tells me to go forward with. He has given me several instructions, even recently. I'm ready now. The more I pray to Allah and tell him that I'm ready, the more I tell these human pilots on these ships that I'm ready, is the more that I notice the Honorable Minister Farrakhan starts to give me more instructions. And it's becoming more personal. He look at me and say, Arvence, come over here. Have you seen Bills? And then, you know, recently he told me, he said, it's an honor to call you my brother. And I'm like, me? You know, me of all people, you know, because we know he's the Messiah. So that just blows me away. And he told me that he got my report because I sent him a report. He told me that he got my report. And, you know, I always salute the angels on the wheels every time I see them, right? So I write that in my documentation. He read it all, and he came out of the house. He said, I got your report, brother. And he said, those angels on the wheels, they said, who is this brother that keeps saluting us? We like him. And we started laughing. He said, they really like you, brother. And then I said, all praise is due to Allah. I love them, brother minister. And then he looked at me. He said, you know, maybe you will be the one to see me off. I said, inshallah, I pray so, brother minister. I said, I'm going to do what you told me to do and tell the world. He said, that's right, tell the world. I said, yes, sir. So I've been thinking about that heavily lately because that was really recent, like really recent, like a few days ago. So I'm thinking about when the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad summoned the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to the Mother Wheel in 1985. He told him, he gave him instructions, told him what was happening, told him to tell everybody, and he told him how to tell everybody, and then tell him who you got it from. He told him to have a press conference, make known they plan. You got it from me, Elijah Muhammad on the wheel. So I'm thinking, if the minister wants me to tell the world, maybe at some point there's going to be a press conference. I don't know. Because the news channel has tens of millions of people watching it live every time, you know, so each network has tens of millions of people live watching. So the news channels, the networks, they have all of the people, right? So if you want to tell the world, that's worldwide. That's worldwide. I mean, that'll go everywhere. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, his messages are everywhere, even if he stays in the house for a whole year, which he doesn't. But if he stays in the house for a whole year, his messages will still circulate the planet. We don't know who's searching and typing and sharing. You don't know this. So, for example, there's a man who I don't know. He's not a Muslim. He reached out to me on Instagram in my inbox.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I've seen your interviews on YouTube. You inspired me because I've been wanting to know about this subject about UFOs." And I said, "Okay, that's great. You know, I pray that I continue to inspire you. Keep listening to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You know, I'm just inspiring him." And he said, "You really taught me a lot." He said, "Maybe one day I get to meet you." And I said, "Wow, that's amazing that you can say something, it's recorded, it's just a link. You don't know who's going to see it. You don't know who's going to share it with who."
Wow.
This can go across the planet in a matter of 2 seconds.
2 seconds. Come
So,
on.
if he wants me to tell the world about his departure, it's got to be online. It's got to be online. It's got to be online. And that's something that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been talking about for several years. And just recently, he told us at the farm, he said, "My departure is dangerously close." Dangerously close. Now, just think about that. He said this before Brother Minister Jabril departed from us. He
Wow.
said this before that happened.
Wow, wow,
So
wow.
now Brother Minister Jabril departs, and now everything is ramping up. The baby planes have been coming to the farm more aggressively, more actively. They've been coming more frequently. The type of life that they show has been more aggressive. Even the pattern of the lights that they show has been more aggressive. And I mean, they've even started to flash lights at me in the daytime, like while the sun is out.
Yes.
And I don't know, I can't explain how I noticed it, but over the years, they are the ones who do things to you to let you know over the time, this is us.
That's right.
When this happens, it's us. And you know, you don't hear a voice in your head or nothing like that. You get a feeling.
Yes.
And once you look and they show up and show the different lights, you know, okay, when I see this in the sky, I know it's them. You know, something like the way people do now, when they see something moving in the sky, it doesn't have wings, you can't hear it, there's no engine, it doesn't have windows, it's an oval shape or it's a triangle shape. What is that? So it makes you look and say, okay, that's not ours. I know what that is. You know, whether you have knowledge of them or not.
That's right.
You know, it's that kind of feeling.
Allahu Akbar. Man. Wow. Is it on you, Sister Maryam, or is it on me?
It's on you, but I do have another question because you brought up something that I wanted to ask you when you spoke about not seeing them for those 2 weeks or, you know, a period of time. I wanted to ask you, you know, you're thinking and keeping your mind and heart clean. What were some of the things? I mean, I know prayer, but you know, even in prayer, the devil inside of us likes to creep in. So I wanted to, you know, speak on how you continue to strive to purify yourself and stay connected with them.
First, yes, prayer is first, because without communicating with Allah, who is in control of everything in the universe, I mean, you can't go further at all. You'll be able to stand still. You can't do this on your own. You can't do this life on your own. You don't know everything. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, you can't live long enough to know everything that Allah knows. So the first step, prayer. Second step, what I do my best to clear my mind, relax, calm down, take deep breaths. Even when a lot of different things could disturb my mindset or anger me or disrupt me or something like that. And in this line of work, there's several things that can happen, you know, so, and that happens on a daily basis almost. But prayer and focus and patience is important. It's important because if you take one step to Allah, he'll take two or more to us to help us.
That's right.
You know, no one can help you do nothing. You have to start something and give somebody something to work with so that they can help you. And, you know, it's not that Allah can't help you if you don't do anything, but it'll be an easier process for you if you just do what he says, strive. So keep your thoughts clean, strive to, and keep your thoughts clean involve doing your best to keep your mind on the life-giving teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Study a lot, read the books of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, read the books of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, look at YouTube, watch lectures, get an MP3. If you still have a cassette tape, listen to that. You know, it's food. You are what you eat. You know, so if someone who eats McDonald's all day, every day, in 30 days, guess what's gonna happen to them? They'll be in hospital. You know, the guy who made Supersize, that's what happened to him. He almost died in 30 days only eating McDonald's. So you are what you eat. Put the right food that comes directly from Allah in your mind. It'll change your thinking. Your thinking will change your body and your mind and the way that you do things and even the things that you do. So feeding yourself the proper food mentally, that's involved in all of that. It's not really a long process unless you make it long for yourself.
Come on.
I mean, if you're lazy about your own life, then that's on you. You can get out of it. We all have moments of laziness, but you can get out of it. So keep your thoughts clean. It's a struggle because there's so much being thrown at us from Satan's world.
That's right.
There's a lot of distractions. You know, the Nation of Islam, we are the ones that Satan wants.
Yes.
The Honorable Mr. Farrakhan said, when you hear somebody say the minister, who does your mind go to? It doesn't go to Reverend so-and-so at some church. It go to him. Everybody knows he's the only one.
Teach.
Keep your mind on him. Keep your focus and your thoughts, your mind, your spirit, your sight on him. There's a reason why before the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad left us, he told us, everywhere you see him, look at him.
That's right.
You know, when he tell you to go somewhere, go. When he tell you to stay away from something, stay away from it. He said, continue to listen to our Minister Farrakhan. He didn't say stop when I leave.
Come on.
He didn't say that. He said continue. So that means everyone on the planet who is physically alive hear that. That's an instruction from the Lord of the world directly to you.
Come on.
Who to listen to and why? Because there's a lot of people doing a lot of talking, but there's only one Messiah on the planet.
Talk about it. Teach, brother. Allahu Akbar. Well, dear brother, we are already at the half point mark, and I guess we might as well do our donations before we hit the commercial. So we thank you again for tuning in to this week's interview with our dear brother Arvence Muhammad as he dives deeper on part 3. This is it's coming a series now of the wheels and this beloved man, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Continue to donate to this network via PayPal at jkingdom1 at AOL.com or Cash App $CTG Broadcast. You can also mail those donations into CTG Broadcast, P.O. Box 531, Ruskin, Florida 33575. And on the other side of the commercials, we'll bring Sister Brianna X's question into view, and we'll go further into these documents and definitely bring up some more of this, or not more, but the raw footage. Thank you, family.
There is a need in our community for a universal change. And it has to start with the man. Being a man of God means being a man possessed of the knowledge, the spirit, and the power of God, anointed to do his will. To build a people, you first must make man. Every man, no matter what his color, no matter what his race, every man, in order to be a man, must be a man of God, or he's
I usually do bring us back. Assalamu alaikum, beloved family, and welcome back to the second half of our broadcast with our beautiful beloved brother Arvence Muhammad. I know Brother Michael said we want to lift Sister Brianna X's question.
Yes,
Sister
man.
Brianna asked, what did Moses ask? She asked, how do we know the difference between a satellite and a baby plane? Do they idly sit and watch and observe?
Yes, well, you can barely see satellites from most places where you live on a planet, but if you happen to see one, I really don't know what a satellite looks like. I've only seen anything that I've seen moving in the sky. Satellites can't move the way that these ships move.
That's right.
The way that these ships move is controlled movement, which lets you know someone's on there piloting it. It's controlled. You can see obvious intelligence, right?
That's right.
When the light just disappears in front of you, no satellite can do that.
That's right.
When the light is moving and it slows down and then speeds up, no satellite can do that. No satellite can go up and down at any speed quickly, stop at a dime, all of that. No satellite can flash different lights in the sky and flash different lights at you, turn red, turn green, turn yellowish, turn white, turn whiter. I've seen the baby planes at the farm. I've seen the baby planes at the farm arrive over the minister's home and slow down over his house, turn big, bright, and white, keep this big, bright, white light, and then on the inside of light, a brighter white light bursts out of it. I've seen that. There's no satellite. So you know how you're looking at an airplane and you can tell that the airplane is not in outer space?
That's right.
You
That's
can
right.
tell that these ships are inside of the Earth's atmosphere. Satellites don't fly around in the Earth's atmosphere. If a satellite comes into the Earth's atmosphere will burn it up and you will see fireballs coming into the Earth's atmosphere. So what you're looking at, these are not satellites.
Teach.
The enemy put these lies out telling everybody, oh, that's Starlink satellite. Okay, what was it in the 1930s then? Because Starlink satellite wasn't around.
Come on, brother. Teach.
They're not satellites. The enemy lies and say they're satellites. I watched a documentary yesterday on YouTube, Project Blue Book, right? I think it was in the 30s and 40s. The United States government were putting out lies about what everyone was seeing, telling the people, oh, you didn't see that. You saw swamp gas. Swamp gas? Swamp gas turned into a ship in the sky and move around? Come on, so you can tell that it's not a satellite because it's actually inside of the Earth's atmosphere. The way that it moves, the shapes that they are, the type of lights that they show, and you can see that they have the ability to shine light or not shine light. They're full control. I mean, it's obvious intelligence. So these are not satellites.
That's right. And isn't it true that these satellites are orbiting, which means they're not necessarily moving without the presence of the Earth's gravity? So like you're saying, when you have something that is able to change direction, slow down and speed up, and not, these are, satellite is reflecting light. So it's a little bit of a different shine than something that is not reflecting light, but giving light. And the planes like to travel in pairs and stuff too sometimes, and satellites don't do that. So Brother Arvence, you're the man. That's it. Praise be to Allah. Well, dear brother, we can use this half of this segment for you. Us asking you questions is going to just take more time away. You got 10 years worth of documentation, and you have a sequence of videos that you would like us to show in sequence. So even though we're the host, you're in charge. How would you like to run it from here, dear brother?
Let's show the videos. I think everyone is excited and want to see the videos.
I am. Yes, sir. Brother Romel, I think we know the sequence of that, dear brother. And then you can do commentary however you want to do it, but start speaking in the video as well.
Before we play the first video, 2 videos are from July the 10th, which was a few days before our brother, Minister Jabril Muhammad, departed from us. No one, I didn't know that was going to happen, of course, right? So these wheels showed up to the farm once in the morning, and the same day, once at night. I have both of these videos from July 10th. The last video, the video says July 30th, but it was actually July 29th, which was the Saturday before Minister Jabril's Janaza at Mosque Maryam, which was on Sunday. So 9 of these ships appeared at the farm on Saturday night, July 29th. And I have the documentation to read off. I'm going to read that off after we watch that video. I'm going to read off what I wrote down, what I was looking at. This is the only video footage. The video footage from July 29th, they only allowed me to record 1 of them, but 9 of them arrived. I'm going to read all of that off. But for now, let's watch the first 2 July 10th videos.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Brother Arvence. It's 5:51 in the morning, July 10th, at the farm. That's a baby plane. It just came on over the minister's home, and it's getting ready to fly right over my head real slow. I'm gonna stop moving the phone and let you see how fast the baby plane is moving. You see that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna catch up with it. It's directly over my head now. All praises due to Allah. I love you, dear angels. Thank you for blessing me to see you. Thank you. Allahu Akbar. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Allahu Akbar. Thank you. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Where are you? I can't find it. There you go. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. I'm keeping the phone still. They traveling east. I'm keeping my phone still. They're about to fly out of frame. That's how fast they flying. And now they're about to fly past the moon. Look at that. Wow, bro, that's crazy. Wow. Wow. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. My phone is not the best, but it's something. Thank you for allowing me to video and see you, dear angels. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. So, can't see him on video anymore, but I can still see him in person a little bit. Thank you. Oh, Allah, they just appeared right in front of me. Oh my God, thank you, thank you.
Allahu Akbar.
Alhamdulillah. I love that it flew past the moon, so then you can really, like, you can see the movement, but then people, may want to say, well, he could have just did. No, you saw it literally fly past the moon.
Past the moon.
That's why I try to in and out constantly. Whenever they allow me to record them, I try to zoom in and out constantly so you can see the full picture, and you can see that it's flying over these trees and going towards this building, going that way. And I'm not just looking at something that's not moving. I try to, let everyone see as I'm describing what's happening live. I try to let everyone see what's happening. So I'm zooming in and out. My phone started acting up, but I got it.
You might want to get you something to always have on you, like one of those Go cameras or something, because
Yeah. I actually seen a 4K camcorder that I'm gonna get.
No,
with
man.
full and all that. So,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
I'm gonna try that one.
Yes, sir. So you said you had something you wanted to read in reference to that video?
Yes, yes. So, in reference to that video, that was July 10th, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. The 5:51 a.m. one.
I have it. I'm scrolling through this. 2023 I have from January all the way up until a couple of days ago. So
Oh, man.
hold on, scroll and find it. I'm almost there. July 10th. Okay.
That's a lot of sightings. He's like,
Yes, it is.
So for the second time, let's go into the next video. I can't find it.
Yes, sir. Brother. Brother Romel's on you, bro. Oh,
Allahu Akbar. It's 10. It's about 10 o'clock at night. And July 10th, this big bright white ball of light just appeared over the farm. It's a baby plane. All praises due to Allah. I'm going to zoom in on it. Look, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Thank you, Allah. I'm holding my phone still. It's traveling northbound. It's a big white ball of light. It just brightened up just now, a few seconds ago. And I pulled my phone out. Look. Oh, Allah, look. Look. Allahu Akbar. Thank you. Thank you, dear angels. 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 Thank you. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Traveling northeast. Allahu Akbar. It's very low. That's about 5,000 feet in the sky. Oh, Allah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Wow. Look. They flying over the trees now. I can't see them. I'm going out here. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Where are you?
Brother Arvence, are you a navigationalist? Like, you know, you're going north. Will you be hitting us with the directions? Like, north, it's going northeast. It's about 5,000 feet. I'm like,
Yeah. So that's weird. Like, I can explain that. Over the years, I believe that those angels on the wheels taught me how to explain that, what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people ask me often, how fast were they flying? How low were they? If you just say you seen one, it was right there, right where? Like, if you say it was right over my head, or like right over your head, or you talking about 1,000 feet? So I try my best to explain that in the documentation as I'm writing things out and as I'm recording. That's why I talk and try to explain what's happening, so there's less questioning. Because watching the video, you see it's real, but you don't know how high in the sky, So, and the reason why I'm able to tell it's 5,000 feet, 3,000 feet, 10,000 feet, I have on my phone an app, a radar app called Flight Radar. There's a lot of different radar apps. And I practice watching the skies, anything that's in the sky, airplane, helicopter, any airport you're nearby, wherever you are on the planet, the satellite app on your phone, it shows you what's in the sky. So at the farm, I see a lot of things flying over Lake Michigan, a lot of airplanes, flying from O'Hare to England and stuff like that in different places. So you can click on any of the airplanes that you see on the app, and it'll show you how high they are in the sky. 10,250 feet, 40,000 feet, 25,200 feet. It tell you how fast they're going. It tell you what airport they came from, what airport they're going to, all of that. So I use my sight, looking at an airplane and practicing with this app. I look at the airplane that's going over my head, and I open the app, find the airplane that's over my head, and the app will say that their airplane I'm looking at is 10,000 feet. But it looks low though. So 10,000 feet is high, but it's not so high to the point where whatever you're looking at in the sky is really teeny tiny.
Yes.
You know, so that's how I practice when I see the angels on the wheels of these baby planes, who people call UFOs. When they come to the farm, that's how I'm able to gauge, oh, that's 3,000 feet. That's 10,000 feet. That's 5,000 feet. Sometimes I hit it right on the head, but most of the times I hit it within the range of 500 to 1,000 feet of the exact number.
Come
so
on,
that's,
brother.
You know,
Come
that's
on,
how it is.
That's beautiful. You know, it was so awesome to see the caption at the bottom while you were speaking, and while you were saying "Thank you, dear angels," as even though it captioned wrong, it was quite fitting because it said "Thank you, Dad answers." And I said, well, that's fitting because Daddy's definitely giving you an answer right now. The big dad, for sure. So praise be to Allah. That was footage number 2, y'all. We got one more.
One more.
So you want us to show the third one? Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now before we show it, this footage on the video, the typing at the bottom, it's gonna say July 30th, but it was actually Saturday, July 29th. Because I have to let everyone know the exact date, because I was so excited at all of the activity that they were giving us at the farm on that Saturday, July 29th, which was the day before Minister Jabril's Janaza. Wow. 9 of them arrived to the farm very aggressively, and they were all shining bright white lights in almost like a Mayday pattern. It's hard to describe. All of them were doing this. Some of them were just sitting there shining lights at me, like shining bursts of light at me.
Wow.
And it started early in the morning on July 29th, around, I think about in the 10 a.m. time, 10 a.m.
Yes.
I seen this big ball of light, broad daylight, not too far from the sun. It just shined and burst a flash of light at me. I looked, but it went out when I looked at it. And I said, am I tripping? You know, and I said, no. I said, no, I'm not tripping. And that's a part of your thoughts. Keep your thoughts clean. You can't, if Allah shows you himself, you can't dismiss it. You can't, it's reality. I wasn't watching television. This was live outside at the farm. So once that happened, I said, am I tripping? And I said, no. I had to immediately dismiss that thought. And I said, no, that was them. That was the angels on the wheel. And once I came to that conclusion, I felt the energy come over me, and something said, look for us tonight. I felt it. I heard it. Look for us tonight. And I said, okay, soon as it gets dark, they're going to come. I know it. I felt it. Because of that light that shined on in the daytime, I knew it. I automatically knew it. It was almost like a dinner bell. Like, we coming. Look for it. We coming. And of course, I know that they knew the circumstances. Brother Minister Jabril and everyone was coming to Chicago the next day for the Janaza. It was a lot going on. It was a whole lot going on. So this footage you're about to watch, it says July 30th, and I actually said July 30th because I was so nervous, I messed up. But this footage you're about to see, it actually occurred the night of July 29th.
29th. Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. July 30th, Sunday. What time is it? It's a baby plane, just appeared over the property. I just seen another white ball of light flash on 3 times in a row and then cut off. Then this came on directly over my head. What time is it? What time is it? Huh? 9:51 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That light down there, that's an airplane. But this light up here, that's a baby plane. It's real bright. Thank you, dear angels, for allowing me to see you and record you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Allahu Akbar. 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 My phone is pixelated. Okay. Allahu Akbar. Still going eastbound. That's about 10 to 12,000 feet high. Okay. Here I come. Allahu Akbar. Okay. Beautiful. Allahu Akbar. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God. Oh my God. They are cruising. They just cruising real slow. Man. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Wow. The light is dimming out. It's dimming out. They gone. They gone now. Allahu Akbar. They gone. Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
It's like the first time every time.
Yes.
The first time you see them, every time you record them, and I think that shows your gratitude.
I was just thinking the same thing, Sister Maryam.
That was extremely amazing. So that video we just watched, they spent time. They didn't fly away fast. They were barely moving at first. Mm-hmm. And towards the end, they picked up speed a little bit, just a little bit. But that scene, the video you watched, that was the part that I was allowed to record because I was documenting on my phone. You know, every time I see them, I grab my phone out, I document while I'm looking at it. I explain everything, and then I put the camera on and try to record or take pictures. So that particular night, July 29th, is the night that 9 of them came. Mm-hmm. That was the only thing that allowed me to see. And I have the documentation that I want to read off from July 29th, if I may.
Please.
All 9 of them. So July 29th, 2023, 7:30 p.m. This is in the daytime. This is what I talked about when they flashed the light in the daytime at me to let me know, watch out for tonight. So 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's still bright outside. A bright white ball of light appeared and flashed on and off very brightly and caught my attention. As I looked in the direction of the sky, I saluted the angels on the baby plane because I knew the flash of light was them. I had a strong feeling that more baby planes would arrive through the night. Then at 9:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a bright white ball of light appears and flashes on and off repeatedly 4 times as it appeared over the bean field. The bean field is the Navy beans that we grow at the farm. It's like 50-something acres of it, right?
Wow.
So over the bean field and slowly flew eastbound shortly before disappearing. I saluted the angels on the baby plane. Now at 9:51, 1 minute later, 9:51 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a bright white ball of light appears over the front entrance area of the farm, front of the farm, right? Front entrance area, and brightens up extremely bright and slowly fly eastbound and dimmed out before it was out of sight. The angels allowed me to record a video of them. I saluted the angels on the wheels. That 9:51, that's the video we just watched.
Yes, sir.
So that was. Then at 10:02 p.m., a dim white ball of light appears over the farm and slowly blinks on and off a few times, then suddenly disappeared near the minister's house.
Wow.
I saluted the angels on the baby plane. At 10:05 p.m., a white ball of light appears over the track. We have a track at the farm. A white ball of light appears over the track area and slowly flies northbound before flying out of sight. I saluted the angels on the baby plane. 10:14 p.m., a dim white ball of light appears over the track area and slowly flies northbound until it was out of sight. I saluted the angels on the baby plane. The baby plane was about 25,000 feet high. 10:19 p.m., a bright white ball of light appears and flashed brightly twice without moving, then never appeared again. I saluted the angels on the baby plane. 10:20 p.m., a bright white oval-shaped light flashes on and off several times quickly and then disappeared flying eastbound. I saluted the angels on the baby plane. 10:21 p.m., a white ball of light appears over the track and slowly flies northwest at around 25,000 feet. I saluted the angels on the baby plane. So that was the documentation of all 9 of them that night. And that one video at 9:51, that's what we saw.
Wow, what a number of 9.
Yeah, so I thought that was very significant that 9 appeared. The number 9.
Yes.
9 is the completion.
Yes.
Brother Jibril depart. His janazah is the next day. The Messiah is doing the janazah. All of this is not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. So I think all of this is a sign leading up to the soon departure of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in life, not death. Because the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan told me to my face, he said, when I leave, those of you around me have to bear witness so that people don't think I'm dead or something happens to me. Then he pointed at me, he said, when I leave, take pictures. I just said, yes, sir, that's all, but I'm growing in it now. I've accepted it. Like I said, I'm ready. I've accepted it now. And the more I accept all of this, the more things pick up.
Yeah.
And now I notice the more the minister is talking to us saying, my departure is dangerously close. He's starting to use that word now, dangerously close. So, I mean, a lot of things are about to happen. We're about to see more of these ships all around the world. Wherever you are, look for them. They're going to come. Trust me. Just be patient.
That's right.
Ask them to come.
That's
what
right.
I do, I put my hands up in prayer. I say, in the name of Allah, who came to us in the person of Master Father Muhammad, to whom I praise you forever. In the name of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and in the name of the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I say, please show yourself. And I just be patient. Sometimes it happens right away. Sometimes it happens a few hours. But the more you practice that, it's the stronger it'll become.
That's
now,
right.
if you're asking them like this in prayer, with doubt in your mind that it's not going to happen, you are already cutting off communication.
Cutting off the circuit.
Yeah, you can't have doubt in your mind. And that's something that I had to learn. And in learning that, I also learned that these angels who pilot these ships, they are the ones teaching you how to communicate with them. They're the ones doing that.
Come on.
They're the ones teaching you how to see what it is that you're looking at in the sky and know it is them. They're teaching you how to see that.
Come on.
So they brought me up to the point now I could see a light miles away, many, many miles away in the daytime or at night. And I know that's a baby plane or that's an airplane. I already know because of the type of light that they always show me.
Yes.
I know the type of light it is. Different.
Allahu Akbar. Wow, dear brother Arvence. Is it okay to go just a tiny bit over? We got 2 questions. Okay, awesome. Brother Arvence, is that okay with you as well? Okay. We have a question. I'm not sure who it is from, Brother Romel, the one you put into the private chat, unless it's from yourself. But he did raise we have a question, and it's what? It's from Brother Romel. He asked, our brother Romel X, the director of the show, says, what guidance would you give to someone who constantly hears ringing in their ears throughout the day, What does this mean in relation to the wheels?
Mother Tanetta actually answered that question.
Allah.
So I'm not gonna dig in my mind and try to make up nothing. If I may, I want to read exactly what she said about the ringing in the ear, if I may.
Yes, sir.
I have
Very good.
Give me a few seconds. I have several notes. Give me a few
I
seconds.
got it right now.
Give me a few seconds.
Wow.
And Mother Tanetta told us what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said about the ringing. So
yes,
this is coming directly from the man who was taught directly by the Lord of the world, face to face.
teach.
So that changes everything. Pardon me.
No, take your time.
Okay, I found it.
Yes, sir.
Carnetta said, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that you would hear a ring, a bell-like sound in your ear. He said that that would be a sign that either he or one of the scientists that would be trying to get in touch with you. He further stated that two of us would be walking together doing normal things in the mall shopping, and he said that that message would come through the ear, through the power of hearing. One would hear it and the other would not. And in that time, the message would be sent through the communication of thought coming from these high-born scientists, and you will have to follow the instructions of what that voice is telling you to do. So that's what the ringing in the ear is. If you get it, don't listen to the devil lying to you talking about it's tendonitis. It's not what it is. I mean, tendonitis may exist, but this is different. If you're getting a ringing in the ear, it doesn't mean something's wrong with your hearing. That's what tendonitis is. All right, that's wrong with your hearing. Pay attention to it. All right. So everything, this type of world that we live in, everything is set up against the truth.
That's right.
Right? Because the truth that comes from Master Father Muhammad, whom I praise and do forever, is meant to totally destroy Satan in his world forever. And he's trying to stick around. So there's a war between Satan and Allah. So anytime you hear the truth, you're going to hear a lie. Coming from somebody being repeated, you will hear it on the news, all of that. They have doctors saying it. I mean, listen to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He'll tell you what's going on. So that's what the ringing in the ear is. Keep that in mind every time you hear the ringing, and trust me, you will start to go deeper in it. It'll start to happen more frequently. The ringing will become louder. Mm-hmm. When I get ringing in my ear, I just be quiet and stand still if I can. If you somewhere moving around, just try to focus on it. That's and the more you focus on it, the ringing will start to get louder.
Yes.
And that's stage one. And then another stage is trying to focus on the feeling that you're receiving from the ringing. Because the Mother Tanetta and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad did not lie. Okay, so it is what it is. Now, if we don't go further with it, that's on us. It doesn't mean it's false. That's our fault. Mother Tanetta said, if you ask a question and want to go further, she said it'll happen for you.
That's right.
You have to want to go there. That's on us. That's why when the Honorable Minister was Farrakhan teach, he always say, take it or let it alone. He always say, live long enough. Every word you hear me say, you're going to face it. Because it's the truth. You can't make God a liar. You can't.
That's right. Allahu Akbar, Sister Maryam.
No, I find myself hearing the ringing, and because you can be out in public. Well, as you said, be in the mall. So sometimes I get afraid and think it's imminent danger. I'm like, whoa, what's happening? Where did we stand?
Maybe one day.
Yeah, I mean, because it could be a warning. It could definitely be a warning. Like somebody come in and you don't know. I mean, things happen all the time. Praise to Allah. Sister Anissa says she just had a ring the other day, so intense that she went completely deaf for 5 to 7 seconds before the ring even started. That's wild.
That's happened to me before in one of my ears. It becomes so loud I couldn't hear.
Yeah, you get pressure too. Feel pressure sometimes.
That's something to pay attention to.
Well, Brother Michael, I know you said that there was one more question after that, but I wasn't sure which were you talking
It's in the starred area. It's Brother
You can ask
Dan.
it.
Okay, want me to ask it?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Brother, this is from Darren X, Brother Darren X, my brother. He says, his question is, in what ways has your experience deepened your faith and love for yourself, the three, which I believe is Master Fard Muhammad, Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the believers, and God's chosen people?
Man, it's deepened my faith so much to the point where, you know how we say we're believers, right? Mm-hmm. This right here will deepen your faith so much to the point that Allah and His angels will graduate you from belief to knowing.
That's right.
I always say I don't believe, I know. Because once you see the reality of things happen in front of you, what you've been reading about, nobody can tell you the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is a liar. Nobody can tell you, oh, he made that up, or he thought something. Nobody can tell you he didn't meet with the Supreme Being. He only went to the 4th grade. How did he know all of this? How did he know that there were people on Mars? How did he know what was going to be found on the moon? The moon dust that'll smell like gunpowder, and he taught why it smelled like gunpowder before anybody ever went to the moon. And when they went to the moon, they brought some dust back, and they said it smelled like gunpowder. Who told you that before you went there? Where did he get it from? It all lines up. 1 + 1 is 2. You can't get 10. You can't get 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You can't. It's impossible. So everything, mathematics is Islam, and Islam is mathematics. Everything lines up. So once we're reading it, we believe it at first. We may not be sure about certain things, but just as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, live long enough and you will see it. Because Allah would not allow himself to be mocked at all, ever. He never has, and he never will. He's in charge. He said he's going to do something, he's going to do it. There's nothing in existence besides himself that can prevent his will or slow him down or make him not be able to do what he says he's going to do. The scripture says only thing he says is be, and it is. He's in charge. He's the Lord of the world, the supreme being. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was taught by him face to face for 3 years, right? And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was taught by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, right? And he's giving that to us. And I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan say before that when Master Fard Muhammad, to whom our praises are due forever, was among us, he said we were in the class of God and we failed when we could have got an A. That A is Allah, that first highest grade. He said we failed with A. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was B. We failed with B. He said, now we have a last chance to pass this class with a C. He's the last chance. And after you get a C, a D is really failing. That's not passing.
That's right.
You know, a D is, so if you're in the classroom of God and you're learning, and the test that we were given in the first rise, we were constantly taught we failed that test. So as you know, if you in 8th grade, you can't go to 9th grade without first taking a certain test, right? That you have to pass. If you flunk the test, stay in 8th grade another year. You know, if you're in 12th grade, you flunked it, you can't graduate and go to college out of high school. You have to stay, take the test over. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan say history is cyclical. We have another test that we have to take this time. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the last chance for us. I remember the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan saying, once he leaves, death and destruction will come down right after. He said Allah's not going to waste no time. So he's literally the only thing holding all of that back.
That's right.
Think about that.
That's right.
Think about that. That's serious.
Indeed.
That's serious. And him telling us his departure is dangerously close. Look up the word dangerously. That's not good.
I'm like, that's not good.
It's not good.
Dangerously close. Like that.
Brother Arvence, there was a question I wanted to ask you as you were speaking. It just popped in my mind. You stated, if I'm correct, that you joined the nation in the year 2000, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So 23 years ago. But it was you at 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
that seen the wheels at a not like a light ball in the sky. From what I remember from that interview, they were a lot closer. Y'all was driving somewhere and it was family in the car, and y'all was like, "Whoa!" Right? So, go ahead. You was about to say something, Brother Arvence?
It was low over the ground, about 20 stories in the air.
Gosh.
Because it was flying over the buildings that were on the street.
Yes.
And it moved from the east side of the street to the west side of the street, just like that. Because we were looking on the east side of the street. My mother was like, "Y'all see that?" We was like, "What?" She started cussing and screaming, "It's over there now." We looked and I saw it. It was a rectangular silver ship with a small lip around it. And it was flying slow, following the car that we were in for 15 minutes and going to the left and right because the sun was out. It was early in the morning. So the sun was shining on the right side of the ship. And the ship dipped down and let me see the top of it. The sun shining on the top and the bottom. I saw it. And then after 15 minutes, it slowly started moving away from us westbound. And that was the start of it. But I was 5 years old. I didn't know who they were.
5 years old. There was a lecture not too long ago, and you probably can remember this. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was teaching out of Mas Maryam, speaking from Mas Maryam, and he brought up a story of two boys at 10 years old, one of which was Elijah Muhammad's son, right? And he asked, the question was asked, why would Allah allow these boys to 10-year-olds to see images in water? They were picking up and seeing images from the water. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's response was, because Allah is making this to be a nation of gods. Wow. So I asked the question to you, 5 years old, you knew nothing about the Nation of Islam, at least not in the way you do now.
I knew nothing.
Nothing. What comfort does that provide someone like yourself to know that Allah has been with you? These angels have been with you, communicating with you, showing themselves to you, raising you up all these years to now, to be around the Messiah. I mean, man.
That's just like, sometimes I don't like thinking about it because it brings me to tears, but I get that question a lot. And the way that I feel about it, I feel like a child at a family reunion who sees relatives come who hadn't seen in years. That's the way I feel about it when I see angels on these wheels. I don't have an arrogant posture. It's a blessing. It's hard to even describe the feeling. The energy that they give you is so high. I remember many nights I've been so exhausted from a long day and all of that. And they would arrive and I would just be awakened, like not tired at all, instantly. They have a high existence and high energy that they can give you. And when they allow you to communicate with them and they respond back, that changes everything. I've asked them several questions before over the years, and even recently, they respond to me with different light. And I've asked them certain questions and asked them to arrive, if yes or no, and then the light pops on over the minister's house. It's sitting still, and then it starts moving, and then it brightens up 2 or 3 times, and then just disappears. I've seen them flash lights at me. I've seen so much in response to the thought. So I mentioned earlier how you practice thinking and communicating to become stronger. That's a personal relationship with you and your God and you and your family on these ships. They're not aliens. They're not grays and all that type of stuff. They're you. But these are people that the Lord of the world made for his purpose. So there is no sin for them. The world that they live in, they don't live in the type of world that we live in with all this homosexuality, people shooting and killing each other, wars over here, wars over there, political matters. They don't like them. She don't like us. Blood, Crips, GDs, Vice Lord, Black, White, you this, you that. They don't live in this existence like that. The type of world that they live in, what's called the mother will, the only existence there is the will of God and peace and love. No madness, no chaos. Can you imagine that? If I could live in that for one day, I'd be happy. It's just it's just a blessing. And I never had the chance to explain to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan this so-called dream that I had here in my apartment when
they moved you.
Not that was where I didn't explain that one, but there was another time after that when two of them appeared. They came out of my closet and stood in my bed, and they stood there giving me instructions to get up out of my bed and come with them. I was nervous at first, but the way that they hurried me on, it was like there was no time to waste. They were sent to come take me. So I just submitted, and they escorted me out of my bedroom, through my bedroom door, through my apartment, through my kitchen, to my back door. The angel that was in front, he touched my doorknob to my back door and opened the back door. And as they proceeded to take me out, that's all I remember. My mind is blank. I can't remember nothing after that. And then I never told the minister about that to this day. I never got a chance to. But a few days after that happened, the minister was outside at the farm. He turned and looked at me. He said, "Brother, have you been to the wheel?" And I was like, "Huh?" I said, "No, sir, I haven't been to the wheel." He said, "You sure?" He was looking at me like he's seeing something in me or something. I didn't know what to think at that point, but in my mind, I don't remember nothing. So he said, "I don't know, brother. I think you might be able to tell me how to get around. You might be able to tell me when I'm leaving." And I was like, I don't know, but so I don't know. So all of you all who have these so-called dreams, pay attention to it, write it down. Don't think you tripping. Don't think it's just a dream. I'm telling you, it's something else. Especially when you get the feeling that you were actually there. No, that's not a dream. That's not a dream.
Allahu Akbar. Well, I think you just told the minister. This is now able to be viewed. So let's just hope and pray that one day he views it and says, "Oh, he has been to the wheel."
Right.
Look, I think he know you trying to let him know.
Yes. Well, do you have anything else you want to share, dear brother Arvence? This is your day.
The thing that comes to mind now is that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan recently told us at the farm about the attacks that's getting ready to come. And he told us, they're coming. He said it 3 times. Serious. With the look in his face that he's receiving something from Allah and he's telling us. It was serious. It was real serious. So don't even worry about that. Things gotta happen. When there's war, I mean, come on, things gotta happen. So look on YouTube and find the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's Mother's Day lecture in 2002 called "The Woman in God, the Woman in the Dragon."
Yes.
Watch that and study it. The way he tells you and breaks down all of that about God and Satan and him revealing where he is in that and what his job is and what's about to happen. I'm telling you, study it.
Repeat that one more time so the viewers can kind of capture what you just said about that lecture. What lecture is that again?
The Woman in God, the Woman in the Dragon. Mother's Day 2002.
Yes, sir.
It's on YouTube.
We got it. Praise be to Allah. Well, thank you so much, Brother Arvence.
Thank you,
man. You know, this was so interesting how this came about because I kept calling Brother Arvence by accident. I mean, I didn't have him in my text thread at that time, so I'm like, how did my body call him from my contact list, and then it did it again? So I literally I looked at the situation. I said, I called the brother 2 to 3 times by accident, and I said, Brother Arvence, is there anything you want to share? Because I called you by accident. Maybe there's something you want to share. And he said, I do. I said, well, look at that. So Allahu Akbar, thank you so much for disclosing what you have disclosed. You know, Brother Kashif said, be careful, but this is what we do.
This is what we do. I mean, the minister giving us instructions for how many years he's teaching us. It's time for us to at least try to do exactly what he said.
Come on.
We got to start picking up the pace because Allah and his messenger and Satan, they're picking up the pace. And we don't want to get caught behind or, caught with our pants down, if you will, excuse the expression, but we don't want to be left on the other side. None of that. We don't want to suffer. Allah came to save us and correct our behavior so we don't suffer.
Yes. Right.
I mean, all we have to do is try to do what he says to do. And that's all I'm trying to do with all of this. He tells me so much. And I internalize it. I try to write everything down for myself so that I can read over it. Oh, yeah, he said do this. And, this whole process, it's a beautiful thing. It's a humbling thing. I don't deserve it. I really don't. I never asked for it. For many years, it's been placed in my lap. And I did my best to take it out of my lap and put it to the side. But a lot just kept putting it back, and then putting weight on top of it, so I can't take it off no more.
Yes,
To the point now, it's like, okay, I submit, I'm ready. And that's what I mean by I'm ready. I'm no longer willing to put it to the side and say, oh, I'm just being humble. But you can't be disobedient in the classroom of God. You can't be disobedient. If he's giving you something, it's for a reason. It's not for you to act a fool with it or become arrogant or nothing like that, but it's for you to bring the rest of the people to him. That's what it's for.
That's right.
If we're going to be saviors, plural, sent after him, what does that mean? How can you be a savior unless you had a mind of the savior?
Yes.
That's why studying is so important. That's why this topic is so important. This is our foundation.
Come on. Ooh, I know we said on that last interview that there was a minister in you, and I think something the minister said in reference to that.
I forgot about that.
It's showing itself.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan looked at me one day. He said, I'm waiting on Arvence to start teaching. I laughed, he laughed, Mother Khadija laughed, all of us laughed, right? I thought he was joking with my stubby butt. But he looked at me and his face got real serious. He said, I'm serious, son. He said, it's not easy, but I think you should look into the ministry. Just out the blue. And I was just like, yes, sir. He said, talk to Minister Ishmael. So I got to talk to this. When I said, I actually see him today. I did get a chance to mention it. That wasn't on my mind, but next time I see him, I got to do what the minister say, do I have to, literally. So I'm going to do it. And if you think about it, this topic that Allah gave me and the way that he gave it to me in such an intimate manner and the way he's orchestrating these different interviews, it's kind of like practice for the ministry, I guess, because I used to be so quiet. Like, I love working and moving and doing things. I talk, but I never seen myself in the ministry before. I never seen myself doing things like this before. I was like really quiet. So
yes,
I mean, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan just recently gave all of us who are around him an order. He said, the things that I teach you, tell it. He said, don't hold it. I want you to tell people, what you can share. He said, you never know what somebody's going through. You give them a word from me that I gave to you. It might be just what somebody's been waiting on. He don't want us to hold it. So I can't hold it. I have to talk about this. I have to. I have to do what he said, when he leaves, how to do it, when to do it. I have to tell the world. I have to. I didn't ask him to tell me this. Allah did. I have to do it. All of us, we have to obey the messenger. We're his sheep. We're his followers.
Come on.
Follow him. Do it. Do it. Elijah Muhammad said, he tell you to go, go. He tell you to stay from the place.
Allah Akbar.
Is this what I needed? So thank you so much.
Yes.
A lot. No, there was a lot in there that my heart, my mind, everything that I needed. So I'm very thankful.
Yes.
Right on time too.
Yes. I wasn't just trying to keep you on. I'm trying to keep the show going as long as I can today. We thank you again.
Need more documentation.
Say it again, Brother Arvence.
Did you all want me to read a little bit more of the documentation from the many years?
We are not going to say no to truth.
So at a certain point, I'm going to release all of this to the public. And that's why I didn't make it alone. I had help. And I thank Allah for the help that Allah has sent me. Allah has inspired certain people who are very spiritual to come to me and tell me, Allah told me to help you. And I'm like, okay, okay, what to do? I don't know what to do. And then they just spring into work and start doing this. Okay, I'm going to do this. You need this. This is nothing but Allah. So now there's a YouTube channel specifically for the baby plane footage that I have, and also the teaching that the Honorable Minister Farrakhan has been given. All the topics of the baby planes, what people call UFOs, is on this YouTube channel that you see at the bottom of the screen. At the announcement 17. Type that in YouTube, subscribe, put the notification bell on. What's that?
You gotta type it in all together.
Yes, you have to type it in all together at the announcement 19. And the email is the announcement 17@gmail. So we made that email to communicate with everyone, because I've been getting so many inboxes from all type of people, inside of the nation, outside of the nation, some of everybody. Even I got a call on my cell phone from a celebrity rapper who told me, hey, he got my number from one of the brothers in Chicago. And I was like, what? I'm looking at my phone like, is this a prank? But it was really him. He said, I seen your interview on Closing the Gap. And he said, you inspired me. I've been wanting to know more about it. We had a beautiful conversation. We had a beautiful conversation. Stuff like this happens. I didn't know it was going to happen. A real celebrity rapper that the world knows.
Wow.
So, I mean, different people know how you're inspiring people by just telling the truth and bearing witness. This is online. Anybody can pull it down online. It's online. So go to the email if you have questions, if you have your own experiences. Let's talk through the email. I will respond. Let's talk through the YouTube channel. I will respond. We will respond.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. Well, dear brother, I guess we'll close. But I want to say this last thing. Light seeks out light in the darkness, right? So when light finds light like itself, it pulls on it. So instead of, I want to do this now while you're here. I don't want to wait till a transition to recognize a star of God. You are a star of God. And that's what this nation is filled to the brim and overflowing with. Stars of God. So when you got someone that is seeing stars, and these ain't stars made of gas, these are angels seeking you out, then they're seeking out light like themselves. Allahu Akbar. Praise be to Allah. Sister Maryam.
No, we thank you, beloved, for being with us this evening. Like I said, you really did you did your job. Praise be to Allah. So family, please be sure to follow and share the announcement 19 on YouTube. And of course, if you have any questions for Brother Arvence, or if you want to share your experiences, email him at the announcement 17. I guess I have a slight announcement. Praise be to Allah. Brother Michael wanted me, well, he didn't want me to. I was going to share it anyhow, but I know he's been waiting all evening. He's been giving off little hints and sad faces.
I've been trying to keep her hostage.
Right? He's like, oh, we can go. How long are we going to stay on the show? So this is just a quick little announcement. Sister Maryam is taking a hiatus from Closing the Gap. Sister has missions to do. So, I announced last week, I believe it was, that I entered into school to get my associate's degree in building construction. And so between that, being a full-time student, a full-time mommy, and a full-time worker, sister needs a little bit of something. I gotta get on my job. So all praise due to Allah. So inshallah, one day soon I'll be back. But Just not sure when. Just got some work to do. So, but we thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
Not side. Bombastic side eye. Praise Allah. Anissa's like, praise be to Allah. Be sure to tune in with the rest of the family. We have like I said, a plethora of broadcasts throughout the week. We have on Thursday, Sister Angelica's podcast, Healing with Angelica at 1 p.m. on Thursday live. On Thursdays, I do believe Dr. Patrice airs as well. And that is, can't remember the title, so forgive me, Dr. Patrice, but she airs Thursdays as well. Saturdays are our mother broadcast. The mother broadcast is with Student Minister James, Student Minister Chad, and our beloved sister Starla of The Final Call. Sunday, I have a testimony hosted by and presented by Student Minister Willie of Massimo 46. I said 36 last week. I was tripping. And I have a testimony. We also have DJ Rockwell, and that is Brother Bond, and that's the Rockwell Radio Show that airs. I'm not sure what day that airs, but as you know, family, lots and lots and lots of things that you can do throughout the week that you can come and feed on the healing words of Allah, testimonies, music, science, art, culture. We got it all. The nation's lit. So praise be to Allah. And until next time, anything.
One more thing.
Yes, sir.
One more thing. I'm going to say this to the public too. I got to say this. There is no replacing Sister Maryam, Alima, Warith, Muhammad.
That's right.
You're not replacing that. So don't expect there to be this immediate replacement for someone who has created such a high standard of this seat that she has. So, like in any normal relationship, no one likes to know that someone that you was with and loved just moved on very quickly after you break up. This is not the same, but you get the point. There will be a space of time for that space to just be what it is, because it needs to show the public that seat can't be replaced. So I'm not out here looking for somebody. I'm just going to keep working, and we will keep working, and she will keep working. But there's no replacing Sister Maryam, Alima, Warith, Muhammad at all. She is forever Farrakhan generation.
Love y'all. Kind words.
Yes, love you too.
Oh, I guess we can end it with one more time of the donations.
Yes, I will. And on that note, we thank you so much for continuing to support this network and tuning in to us on Tuesdays and all the shows and broadcasts throughout the week. We will be 2 years come October as the Farrakhan generation. So please continue to support this network by donating to Closing the Gap via PayPal, jkingdom1@aol.com, or you can mail those in to, where is it at? I still don't remember half the time. You can mail them in, or you can also Cash App at $CTG Broadcast, or mail those in to CTG Broadcast, P.O. Box 531, Ruskin, Florida, 33575. And we love you. We love you. We love you. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Love y'all.